A young lady on TikTok dies mysteriously after she went visiting a young man she met recently on TikTok. It happened that they both lived in Delta State, and 3 days after they connected on TikTok, they started chatting, and Amy Pounds invited Brenda over to his place. Without hesitating, Brenda agreed to visit him, and it was not just a one time kind of visit or a visit to come back the next day. Brenda picked up some of her things to spend some time with Amy Pounds. So on reaching there, Brenda spent days with him. It became worrisome to her family members when she was no longer reachable. All of a sudden, she wasn't picking her calls anymore. She wasn't returning her calls anymore. She wasn't responding to messages. So they became worried, and it happened that few days later, her phone was no longer reachable. They didn't know where and how to reach out to her again until one of her closest friends hacked her TikTok account, went through her chat, and discovered that Brenda had been chatting with this new guy, Amy Pounds, and he invited her over. So the family members had to reach out to Amy Pounds and ask him questions. Our daughter had been chatting with you and you invited her over. We know our daughter is with you because you are the last person she chatted with and affirmed her visiting. So where is our daughter? Amy Pounds, on the other hand, agreed that yes, your daughter came visiting. We spent quality time together. She was here, we slept on the same bed, we woke up, and then she became ill. I took her to the hospital. This is the hospital she is, this is the location. Without wasting so much time, the family members rushed to the hospital. On reaching the hospital, they saw their daughter with bruises all over her body. As if that was not enough, she was unconscious. Added to it, she was wearing an adult pampers. And they were worried, like, how? What happened? How did it get here? What really happened? They were told by the hospital that she no longer controls her urine and poo, so they had to wear her the adult pampers to help moderate and control her urine and her poo. And then the family members began asking questions. Brenda could not answer. They tried all means to make her talk, explain what happened to her. How did she end up here? What about the bruises, the diapers, the what really happened? Who is responsible? But they couldn't because she was unconscious. She barely even knew what was going on in her environment. Not to even talk more of bringing her to answer them. So they had to wait patiently for her to recover and to regain consciousness to enable her answer so many questions they have hanging. Unfortunately for the family, not too long from when they discovered Brenda at the hospital, Brenda passed on. And this was so disturbing because no one has said anything to them concerning their daughter. No one has answered their questions. No one has said anything. So they had to turn on Amy Pounds and accuse him of being responsible of whatsoever it is that happened to their daughter and led to her death. The police came in, had their investigations done, and the police came out to say that this is not the case of kidnapping, the case of ritualism, the case of murder or something bad. It was an unfortunate circumstance that Brenda and Amy Pounds found themselves. They both slept and left the generator on, and they inhaled so much of the carbon dioxide that led to them being unconscious. They were rushed to the hospital, and it was after Amy Pounds regained consciousness that they were able to arrest him. And this is what the police were able to bring up to the table that happened to Brenda. But the family is still not okay because if Brenda is a victim of the generator, how comes the bruises on her body? How comes she's wearing adult pampers? How comes she's unconscious? If you look around and you check the numerous cases that was as a result of inhaling too much of carbon dioxide from the generator waste, it is not linking up. Why is Brenda's case different? Why the sudden demise? Everything just happened so fast. No one to answer the numerous questions running through their mind. Amy Pounds, on the other hand, keep saying no, he didn't do anything to Brenda. The family should stop accusing him. He slept in the night and woke up and he found her sick, took her to the hospital, and this is where it is. But the family refused to agree with his account of what happened to Brenda. They are confused and they need answers to the hundreds and thousands of questions running through their mind. What do you think would have happened to Brenda? Do you think she actually died as a result of inhaling so much from the generator? or you think something else happens to her and they don't want us to know. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section.